Alright, we are live on YouTube as well. Let me open up Discord. Yep, that's all going. That's working fine. We just cleared all these equal lows. It's 3:25, so in 5 minutes we will have the New York Open. As of right now, we had a very bearish day. This is the current daily candle. We opened up right here, and the only wick or movement to the upside that we had throughout the entire day was this tiny little one. So I just want to, point this out, like really. This has been the only move to the upside on the daily candle that we had. We opened up right here at 6 p.m. New York local time, and this tiny little wick, 2 ticks, has been the only up move we have seen on the daily candle. We open up right here. Usually we move a little bit above, but today we didn't. We only had 2 ticks above the opening of the daily candle. That's a warning sign. We continued to sell off, pulled back, continued lower. Then throughout London, I was actually looking for a long after having swept this Asia sell side liquidity. Didn't play out. I have been stopped, which is fine. And because we didn't sweep Asia buy side here on ES, I was not looking for a short setup. So once again, because people are just starting to join, the only movement that we had on the daily candle to the upside after we opened up here at 6 p.m. New York local time has been those 2 single ticks. Nothing more. We haven't spent barely a second above the opening after 6 p.m. Not at all. So today has been so far a very, very, very bearish day here on ES. We're below the VWAP. Only those 2 ticks to the upside. So we can point this out. We open up. We have our high right here. And other than on the 6 p.m. 5-minute candle, we haven't spent another second above the opening. We've been very bearish. London didn't clear Asia buy side, so we still have Asia and London buy side remaining. This is our current daily candle, opening, high, low, close. The 8:30 PPI news report came in just as predicted. On the weekly outlook, I mentioned that we do not have any relevant high impact news this week. And this is exactly what I mean by that. We cleared a short-term high, shifted structure right here at 8:05 a.m., leaving behind this bearish fair value gap. We retrace into it. Candle bodies are respecting it, even though we had high impact news. But all the news really did was deliver into the main objective, which was those 2 equal lows. That's the PM session from yesterday, sell side liquidity. And right here we have the 9:30 low. I deem that as the AM session sell side. We continue to keep on selling off through this 1 hour and 4 hour bearish fair value gap. So if we go on the 1 hour, we're currently below that, and we do not have any other 1 hour fair value gaps available to us really, other than this one all the way down here. On the 4 hour, same story, not a single 4 hour fair value gap below us. So overall, also by measuring the previous day's range from low to high, those are our Fibonacci retracement levels, the 61.8, the optimum trade entry at 70.2%, and the 80% retracement. So we have almost already retraced, or how do I say that? We're below 70% of the entire movement that we saw yesterday. Let's see, we have 40 seconds until the New York Open. And because we are at the low of the day, I'm not really interested in going short. The only thing that I will be looking for is if we get a market structure shift above this high. Then I would engage long. But other than that, I'm not going to short below the 50% of yesterday's range. We could continue to sell off easily into the previous day's low basically, which is lining up almost perfectly with the standard deviation -1. I'm going to leave that on for today. Show historical sessions. Done. So we actually managed to close below the optimum trade entry. Acceptable. I'm not going to drop down to the 1 minute time frame now. I'm going to be watching it on the 5 because I want to see a nice close above here. Support, and yeah, I would enter a continuation trade that would look something like this. This is my game plan. 8-point stop loss, and really my take profit target is going to be at least this buy side liquidity or the New York midnight level. %50 of today's range is lining up with the VWAP right here. Let's see. I want to get in a long at a discount. We do not have any fair value gaps on this little, or on this most recent leg to the downside. If we measure that, anticipating a potential reversal, we could project standard deviations. 4 standard deviations would bring us back above the open. Any questions about that on the Discord? Feel free to ask me. If I go to the 1 minute time frame, equal lows, we already had our displacement, but no 1 minute fair value gap. If we close above this level, I will market order entry with 1 contract, and then I will slowly add. This is likely the only trade I'm going to be taking for the session. We will see. But we can see that since New York opened up, we're seeking buy side liquidity above short-term highs. Turn off the standard deviations here for a second. There, making it. That's our 8:30 open. We want to make this a dotted line. Keep in mind, we are at the low of the day. We are inside our reversal area, inside the, or right on the optimum trade entry. YM, let me take a quick look at that, but I don't want to miss anything on. Yes, that's my main priority. YM already had the pump, nice. Getting a signal here, that's exactly what I'm waiting for here on ES. Oh shit. That's not a good sign. Damn it. While NQ is dumping, almost back at the low of the week, we see YM pumping. I'm usually not a fan of that. when the indices are doing different things all over the place. So we did not manage to close above this, yet I'm looking for the expansion. So we see YM shot up, NQ dropped to the downside, while ES, yeah, is barely doing anything yet. Yeah, NQ is just dropping here. And if I open up YM had a very strong pump. Interesting. Nasty day. Exactly. It has been the entire day. It's actually been my first red day since the last 8 trading days. So I almost had 2 consecutive weeks of only green days. That's okay. I even tried this long right here from this fair value gap, but it didn't play out. Because overall, yeah, obviously now with hindsight, the short has been in play, but I didn't look at the short because for the short I want to see proper buy side to be swept, and that would have been the Asia buy side liquidity right here for me. NQ actually did that, so we also have SMT divergence right here, but I don't trade NQ. If we keep on dropping, I'm not going to engage that quickly. NQ 930 open. Already made a new lower low, so we could potentially see bullish SMT divergence here. We want to keep an eye out on YM. $15-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame. I'm gonna wait for a proper setup because I'm already in little bits of drawdown. I do not want to risk anything, especially since we now have all the indices pointing or seemingly doing different things. YM had a strong pump right at 930 with a move back down. So right here we potentially already have the reversal model because here we have our market structure shift, while on NQ we do not. Let's see, let's get back to ES. I don't want to miss anything. We just swept a high right here, but we want to see a close above before we engage. Before we consider engaging. I want to quickly clear up some things. I don't like having messy charts. Also this, we do not need that. We know what we're looking for. 50 seconds to go on this 5-minute candle. That's exactly what we want to see. Trying a long of this volume imbalance. We didn't confirm the market structure shift yet, so that might be a mistake.
Order
okay,
filled.
We already filled. Now we're already in. I'm going to place my stop loss below the slow. 1 minute time frame. No, that's not looking good. Five points. The first confirmation that I would like to see here is this volume imbalance to remain open and a close below the slowest bearish fair value gap for it to become a inversion fair value gap where we could potentially expect support, and also a close above the market structure shift level. Because then these two up closing candles, I would look at them as our breakup block. I would even redraw it to the highest up close. Now let's use both of them, since we have the luxury of framing this on the based on the 5 minute time frame, but we really want to see the close above. I took an anticipatory entry. I could get burned for doing so, and I have to live with the consequence, the potential drawdown. Not what I usually do, but let's see, maybe I get lucky. But it shouldn't really be based on luck. You want to see the setup, and if it's not there, you don't engage. Around 2 minutes before this candle is going to close. Take a quick look at some other charts. YM is still holding up rather strong, and NQ is still selling off. God damn it. One minute to go. It also has the potential to become a messy opening because of the reasonings that all the, or at least only as because all the indices are doing different things. We already had a major expansion today. We could also call it or consider it a retracement. That is a 30-point range to the London session high. So let's see. If we close below the 50% of this wick, I'm going to cancel my trade Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at this low. If I'm getting stopped out, so be it. I'm not looking for shorts today at the low of the day. It doesn't make sense to me. We closed in this bullish volume imbalance. Also not the best sign. Let me check the lower time frame. High, low, but no fair value gaps being left behind here on the 1 minute. Picked up the slow. Let me head over to Discord. That's why I moved my stop loss to this 9:30 a.m. low. Only if we, continue to go lower, I'm getting stopped out to protect myself from a potential stop hunt right here. YM keeps up going higher. And Q keeps on dropping. Haha. That's gold. But let's see, we got some nice bullish momentum after having swept this short-term low. If we now leave behind a 1 minute fair value gap here, that would be ideal for our case. Or for my, mistake. Not our case. No fair value gap here. There we go. The earliest or the closest buy side liquidity above the 50% of the current daily range. So right here we're in a tricky situation, I would call it. If this long is going to play out, what could we use as a potential target? So usually, what we could, not usually, but what we could potentially see is a retracement. If it plays out, of course. It doesn't look that way right now. But for the sake of this example, a pullback above the 50% of our current daily dealing range. And then we look for buy side above that. That would be our first short-term high, second short-term high. So somewhere around this area would be a good area to take partials. We have trend line liquidity from our high. Could we use this low? Yeah, we had a little bit of a fake out right here. Continued lower. If I use this high, yeah, it should work. So first target would be of 4390. Then afterwards, every short-term high for me is a wick or a swing point that has a lower high to the left and a lower high to the right. This one right here, this one right here, and then eventually London buy side. But what price could be doing is to reprice into a premium to continue into deeper discount and potentially the previous day's low. NQ keeps on selling off. I think it should have hit the previous day's low. Yep, NQ. Now we have strong SMT divergence between ES and NQ. We took out this low from last Friday. But the previous week's low or Friday's low would come in at right here at 15.061. And if we take a look at YM kept on pushing higher. Hard to tell. anything could happen here. For you, it's best right now to stay out. The VWAP is moving lower aggressively. Obviously, New York session, plenty of volume coming in, volume weighted average price. But this would be the perfect trading day, or AM session at least, to skip. The perfect one. Yesterday, YM and Q, blah blah blah, they ordered something similar, while today they're actually doing exactly the opposite. YM's shooting up, and Q still going lower. Let me get rid of all these drawings here on NQ, get a clear view, go on the hourly or 15-minute time frame. So all we did on NQ is, the only thing I like with NQ is that we actually took the Asian buy side. On ES we didn't. Then we sold off. So a quick pump and dump. And now we're almost back to our Monday, Tuesday, not the previous week's low, but Friday's low. And that's interesting. While ES is still deciding what it should do, up, down, I unfortunately already engaged here. I'm gonna get stopped out if we go below the slow. And Q has cleared. Has it? No, not yet. But it's about to. Friday's low.
Stop filled.
And there goes the stop. And Q has cleared the low now. While YM still going to the upside. No sign of weakness here on the Dow Jones. Is this a reason for me to short ES now too? Not at all. I don't short at the low of the day. It might even play out, yeah. But, yeah, not with me. Breaker block also doesn't exist. We cleared a short-term low right here. We extend the range. AM, 8:30. Bam. And Q decided to go cliff diving today. Really? Yeah, we kind of could expect ES to follow suit, but in terms of risk-reward ratio, not that great. NQ is already down below here. Yes. No, not with me. %50 of the range we rejected from that. That's Friday's low to Monday's high range. For 3, 2, 1. We close below and open up with a bearish volume imbalance. So this could potentially be a fractal YouTube model without having swept any external buy side. Yet it could still be a 2022 model. We cleared internal buy side. This plays close below, but yeah, we do not have a fair value gap to work with. So the only thing that could be a potential play would be this confirmed breaker block. But because it's so big, I would only look at the lowest down closing candle right here to potentially hold resistance to deliver into the target. But I'm not trusting anything right now, so no fair value gap again. Oh, we have one on the 1 minute time frame. And it might actually play out here. Previous day's low, 15 points. If we go above this high, inside the breaker block, let's try that. See how it goes. And Q bounced here. Could be expected or anticipated after clearing major sell side liquidity. And there goes the breaker block holding resistance. We can extend the range. I really wouldn't expect it to go back up above this high. Here based on the 5 minute. Can't say it. If we deliver lower, we will do that from this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. We already tapped into it. Breshki, I just gave you the role, so I think you should be able to speak on stage if you want to test it. So huge SMT divergence between ES and NQ. So really, if you look for longs, NQ would be your candidate. Check out YM here. YM dropped, shifted structure here on the 1. Theoretically, that would be, if we close above this high, a 1 minute market structure shift. Freshky, what do you think about that? Lower low. But I think, yeah, we rejected. my limit order initially from the breaker block could have been filled for the continuation lower. But for a valid reverse, I want to see a strong break above a displacement. Otherwise, we're gonna keep selling off of this bearish fair value gap. No questions asked. It's 10 a.m. So we have a new hourly candle starting here and a new 4-hour candle. Now we have filled in this entire 5-minute inefficiency. Yeah, 1 minute, sorry. We have a unfilled volume imbalance up here. We took out equal highs. We're inside the 5-minute breaker block, so that's all good indications for a short, but yeah, conditions aren't right. I don't like it. All indices are doing sort of their own thing, a Q at least. Oh yeah, kind of. Nope, still hitting a wall. Short-term high cleared, market structure shift, breaker block. So we actually also have the 1-minute breaker block holding resistance here. But it's not really the displacement we're looking for. We're looking for that strong sudden move to the upside, leaving behind fair value gaps. We do not see that. So right now I'm still favoring short. We have now tapped that unfilled volume imbalance. But we're just playing here. I don't think I will engage today until we get a nice clear setup on a 5-minute time frame for a long. No fair value gap to work with. Below midnight, below 8:30 open. What else? No, not much really. Until then, it's patience time, sitting and watching. We have our confirmed market structure shift on the 1 minute. Let's see if we leave behind a fair value gap. This would be our 5-minute market structure shift. Starting to get this displacement, nice. 2.5 minutes to go. A close above here would be ideal. Oh, that's already 7 points. I think we're best off waiting for the 5-minute confirmation. 15-minute candle is going to close in 6. Could get a potential short on EU. Buyers are stepping in. Yep, we can see that. Let's check the 1 minute here quickly. On the 1 minute, we already closed above the 5-minute. I'm not chasing this. Yes, it could really pump up, but yeah, then I've just been very unfortunate. I had my anticipatory entry right here, got stopped out, and we ran. I would be a fan of a fair value gap being left behind, which isn't too big for a potential low of the day reversal. 5-minute candle is going to close. We have our breaker block right here. That's the momentum we're talking about. Close right on the VWAP. Now we have a confirmed inversion fair value gap. We have a inversion fair value gap right here as well. We have our breaker block, which is where I'm going to get a potential long entry from. If price is kind enough to do so. Might not be. Might not happen. Yep. But also on the 1 minute time frame, no real opportunity, no volume imbalances, no fair value gap fills. But we're starting to leave behind a 5 minute bullish fair value gap. So let's just wait for that. And what we would like to see then is a pullback and a continuation. And if we get that, I'm going to hold at least until the opening. Above all, this buy side, yeah, I don't care. If I'm getting into this trade, I want to see a move above the open. Well done, H. Smith. Well done. What's major drawdown? I mean, eventually, yes, it's gonna pay off, but it's not. Yeah, okay, that's major drawdown. Fucking hell. But well, I'm glad it worked out for you. It's your system. The system has to suit the trader. And Q, obviously after taking Friday slow, pushed up. We keep on pushing. Let's see what we do around the 830 level. Likely not. Nah, well, we need a decent sized retracement. So far, we haven't even gotten one on the 1 minute time frame. Consolidated here. Touch the 830, and we also have a unfilled volume imbalance right at that 830 level, where we also rejected from initially at the 830 open. Bearish fair value gap. Then some people are worried because of PPI news. I don't care about news unless it's CPI, NFP, or FOMC, or power speaking. Everything else, it's just to make you worried, to not engage. But hey, come on, like I was looking at this while it was happening and I was so tempted. Yeah, well, perfectly respected, continued lower from here into all the targets. PM and AM sell side, we had fair value gaps to fill below. So unless it's PPI, CPI, NFP, or FOMC, or power speaking, don't worry about the news. Most of the time they're not going to stop or wick you out because the order book is not that thin at this point in time. It only happens before NFP, FOMC, and these other news events. All right, we have a 5 minute bullish fair value gap. Paired with the inversion, I doubt that we're gonna fill it, but yeah. If you're in the long, honestly, I would really hold at least until the open. Like I explained, the only only movement we had above the opening price today was right here at 6 p.m. and since then we never came back. 6 p.m. that's the opening candle. We had 2 ticks above the open, and from there on we just went down. We didn't clear London. London didn't clear Asia. It's still left behind for New York. So let's see. Wicked above the 830. 1 minute time frame, no fair value gap entry. Big stop loss, but I wouldn't let go of it until here, and that's a 2.5 risk reward. That's all that really matters. So we were right about the reversal, just at the wrong time. Right here. Made one lower low, and then yeah, price just ran without giving a potential entry. We bounced off yesterday's OTE. Let me draw this in here quickly. So if we look at yesterday's range from previous day's low to previous day's high, and we draw in our optimum or our ICT fib retracement, this is where our optimum trade entry comes in. We hit the 80% retracement level, never closed below it. We looked at that at the beginning of the stream. That's where we had the accumulation. That's likely where H. Smith got his trade idea from, I could imagine. Yes. We'll see. We will see. Bum, 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 bum. All right. No entries for me on EU. Regular trading hours, yeah, a big gap to fill. So a nice pullback would be cool to see, to fill us on a bullish fair value gap. And expansion above. We do not have to do that, of course. It's a possibility. We keep on hitting that 830, but we can't seem to close above it, even on the 1 minute. First bullish fair value gap would be up here, then here, and then all the way down here, really. And assuming this has been the last manipulation leg, four standard deviations of this manipulation would take us to the previous week's high. That lines up perfectly. I really hope I can get in on that pullback. That's two standard deviations line up perfectly to the tick with Asia buy side. 3 standard deviations would deliver us above the previous day's high. Perfect, just perfect. 1.5 standard deviations above this 5:20 a.m. high. Like I said, 2 standard deviations. One of the main targets would be right here at the Asia buy side. Alright, we have a new 5-minute fair value gap. But I'm not going to take an entry from that. That's up too high. I'd prefer to wait for this 15 to close now, to leave behind a 15 and then look for a continuation up higher. Get rejected from the 830. Yes, we could hold support here and deliver higher, but I'm not a fan of using a stop loss that is way too big, like 20 points. I'm not willing to risk 20 points today. But let's see what we do inside of this bullish fair value gap. Our entry would come in right here. Here we have a inversion fair value gap. We closed above it, overlapping with this bullish fair value gap. This could already hold price if we're extremely bullish, and we do not want to hesitate before running out this buy side liquidity to quickly run out all the shorts that might still be in the market. Fill the regular trading hours opening gap, doing that from the overlapping area of this bullish fair value gap and this inversion. But yeah, just said, risk management wise, not the best trade to take. We hit a premium, did we? We're already above the 50% for the current daily range, low to high, 50%. We didn't hit buy side and premium yet. That first buy side liquidity would come in if we close above any of these highs. Then I'd prefer to get my entry before that happens. But we might not get it. Overlapping confluence. Check out the 1 minute, likely have a 1 minute fair value gap here as well. Do we actually? Yep, and look what kept holding support perfectly. The 10:13 a.m. bullish fair value gap. Already engulfed that. Yes, we are running. We won't get our entry. Let's see if we, no, we cleared this buy side. We did clear this buy side. We're running for sure. Unfortunate, but that's trading. Big wick on the daily. Take a look at NQ. NQ almost completely reversed this entire 930 drop. In terms of market structure, let's check out the 5 minute. No, nothing here, just a sharp low. We closed above this, but since then, not a single 1 minute fair value gap entry, unless you simply jump in. We missed our breaker block entry here by a couple points, couple ticks. All right, we closed above the 830 of this 1 minute bullish fair value gap exactly in here, overlapping with a 5 minute bullish and a inversion fair value gap. Could be a retracement at midnight, especially because if we get up there, we likely have already cleared some buy side in premium of the entire daily range for a little, I don't know how big the retracement is going to be. But those would be your profit targets if you got in down here. The first profit targets at least. The overall ones would be Asia and London buy side. Let's see, we're holding. If you're still in a long and you stop loss at break even at VWAP or in profit, keep on holding. You won't do anything wrong. Let's see, assuming that we put in our high of this initial displacement, strong displacement, but we're also looking for a big move to the upside, our 50% level. So we would actually end on a fair value gap, which is, according to this, swing low to swing high in a discount, lining up with the optimum trade entry down here. Yeah, so I'm a fan of that, getting in at around 4,380. Decent size pullback. So this is going to be my entry. Bullish share value gap, paired with inversion, paired with the breaker block. Really, we could use the 1 minute breaker block here. Let's see what it looks like. Highest up closing candle. Yep. Go back to the 5. But we do not have to get down there, of course. Yeah, like said, H. Smith, that there could be a block of buyers and I could miss out on a potential move, but I'm not getting in up here. I'm not a fan of holding through the drawdown of potentially 10 points. I want to get in at a discount below the 50%, lining up perfectly with our breaker and the bullish fair value gap. If I can get filled down there, I take it. So yeah, until then, can pretty much walk away. Yeah. There's not much to do for us. Big stop loss. That's why would I at least target a 2-to-1 risk to reward, which would fit perfectly to the opening price right here. Previous day's high. This would be my rough trade idea. I'd likely keep on holding. Now I'm not going to place a sell limit here. Might get filled when I'm not in front of the charts. EU is out. Yes, but I haven't set that up yet, I think. Let's see. Unmute music. No, that's Discord music. We don't like that. Now we need a music bot for that on Discord and on YouTube. I potentially could. But if you want to listen to music, just open another tab, let it play. I'm not going to do that here, because then if you don't want to listen to the music that we're listening to here, you have to also mute my voice. It's the reality of trading. Sometimes pretty boring, not that exciting, but what isn't? No, I do not want them connected here. Until then, Freshkey, what are your plans for the funded accounts? Because the stop loss is relatively big. I do not want to force an entry that's too low. Yeah, okay. But 5 points only. You and your 5 points. No way. No, I'm not gonna do that. It could become a breakaway gap, but we will see. We are looking for the retracement below 50% of this price leg higher. Would be this fair value gap. Could become a breakaway fair value gap, of course. Yes. But right now we are holding up pretty strongly at this inversion. Close back above the 8:30 opening. but it doesn't look like it wants to retrace. And that's what can happen if we've been trending down the entire day. New York opens up. Unfortunately, we've been manipulated here. And then we had this strong move without giving an opportunity unless you jump in up here. Check out NQ. Yeah, some people do that. Some people jump in here. I personally don't. Don't like it. Not my style. Let's see what we do around midnight. But I think we're just gonna run for the buy side. And once we've taken that, I'm going to end the stream. I'm not gonna be interested anymore today. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Can't change it. It didn't offer me the entry that I was looking for. And we can almost see that we got rid of this entire down closing candle that we saw at the beginning of the stream. First buy side. Before we head into London buy side and Asia buy side. Almost at the same level would be this one right here at 4398. Paired with this bearish fair value gap. And we cleared the buy side liquidity. Unfortunately today without retracement. The only retracement we got was after closing above this bearish fair value gap, holding support right here where this bullish fair value gap and this inversion fair value gap overlap. We have a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. We didn't fill that. Didn't touch it. Nice book map right above you. That's cool. Let's go. From that overlapping area right here, bullish fair value gap, already 10 points. Nice. Let's see how we close here in 30 seconds. If we hold or close below midnight. Let's check the hourly time frame. On the hourly, we're about to get a market structure shift as well. We have a high, a lower low, and a not really clean 15-minute low, lower high. Yeah, 15-minute market structure shift. Let's check the daily rejection wick. 4-hour chart, a nice strong bullish engulfing. after initially closing below the 4-hour bullish. 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, when we close above midnight. So that's something. That's a good sign if you're currently in a long. So now we hit the major buy side liquidity before we run out these two highs. Let's see. Right now our retracement would look a little bit more different. Nice. Congratulations, Agent Smith. Well done. I'm thinking of ending the stream here. It is 4:42. Are there any questions on YouTube? If so, ask them now, because I'm not going to jump in anything up here. I would wait for a decent retracement to get in. So yeah, if you have any questions on YouTube, ask me now. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream here. Alright, then that's going to be it for the YouTube stream today. I will stay on the Discord live stream for a little longer. Take care, guys, and make sure to trade safe.